Can you guys actually hear me? Or is there a delay? Oh, no, we're good. Okay, guys. So, welcome to the stream. Basically, what we're going to be doing is in this session, we're going to cover some basic exponent questions. And then after that, what I'll do is go through some exam questions with you guys as well. So by the end of this, we are just kind of doing basic exponent questions. All right. So we'll probably be doing some questions from the old exam papers. I'll just have to kind of flick through it, but we will actually kind of get there in the end. Just in terms of something else that I've just set up for you guys, especially for those of you guys that are probably joining in for the first time, just want to show you guys a couple of things and then we'll get started. So the first thing I wanted to show you guys was what I've actually set up is I've set up a web page, and this web page can be accessed from my main banner there. So if you click on the web page, it should take you to somewhere here, hopefully. And what I've also done is if you click on NCEA level 1 and click on Algebra MCAT, you are going to get pretty much all the revision material that you're going to need for the MCAT. All right, so what I've done is I've split it up, skills, live tutorials. So anytime I do any live tutorials, that will end up being there. So if you click on live tutorials, you should be able to see all of the past tutorials that I've actually done. And I guess the big one that I've been working on is the exams. So the NCEA exams, what I've done is I've got all the past exam papers in one place for you guys to access, with each individual question bookmarked with the timestamp there as well. So if you click on the timestamp, that should take you to that particular question. All right, so that's available basically going back to 2014, I believe. So that's plenty of revision material for you guys. Okay, so that's something useful to have for you guys. It's good for revision, and of course, feel free to share it with people, because the worst thing for people is they find this resource very late into the MCAT. That's why this year I've actually decided to start the tutorials much early. Gonna go at a much slower pace, so that so that we can actually understand things before kind of rushing in towards the end. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Now, the first kind of 6 questions that I've given you guys, that covers the basics of exponent rules. So that's powers of powers. So what I normally tend to do is, and I know that some of you guys is the first time you guys actually joining in. The way this tutorial works is that I put up a few questions, and then I'll give you guys some time to actually work through. Feel free to throw answers in the live chat, and you guys can actually have a discussion. Now, if you are the type of person that kind of likes to go through ahead, you could always just click on the OneNote link and kind of look at the work ahead. But unfortunately, I haven't actually. I've got my questions on the paper here, and I'll kind of write it up as we go along. Cool. So we'll get started. I'm going to give you guys about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes on these questions. So have a go at these 6 questions, 2 to 3 minutes, and then we'll start getting into some of the other challenging questions that you will see in the MCAT. Cool. So 2 minutes. Have a go. Limitless. The level 3 one will start soon. Krish, if you don't know how to do it, don't worry about it. I'll go through the answers, but just, these are some of the... Oh, you're talking about limitless. Okay. My bad. That last name looks very familiar. Yeah, here comes another level 2 student. Not Beckham's there as well. Aspect, yeah, we will. This is just real quick revision of quick revision of the skills, man. So we'll be looking at some more challenging questions here. Uh, 8 hours each weekend. Campbell, that's a lot of work for this particular paper. I think you can, yeah, you can never study too much, but all right, guys, it's enough chit chat. We're going to go straight into these questions, and I'm going to put you guys the answers, and then we'll start doing some more challenging questions. All right. So with the first question, remember that we are multiplying powers of not powers of powers. We got multiplication where the bases are the same. So in this case, what we're going to do is we are going to add the powers, because that is one of the expectations and rules. So the first answer you're going to get is b to the power of 9. When we're doing division of powers with the same basis, you've got to subtract the powers. So you're going to get a to the power of 6 minus 2, and then which means you end up with a to the power of 4. And then looking at question C, we've got x to the power of 3 to the power of 2. So that means we're going to multiply the powers. So we're going to get 3 times 2, and we end up with x to the power of 6. Looking at question D there, the first step you got to do is you've actually got to multiply the two numbers first. So in this case, we're going to go 2 times 3 to get 6. Then we do the powers. So the base is b, and then we're going to add up the powers. So we got 3 plus 4. So what we're going to end up with is 6b7. Campbell, in that case, I'm just going to be honest with you, man. Like, just work through I think if you cover pretty much most of the material that I posted here, as these guys have kind of vouched, yeah, it is pretty easy to get through. All right, looking at question E, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the 12 and 2. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. And we've got y to the power of 7 minus 3. And we're going to end up with 6y to the power of 4. Yeah, I'm not sure when the dates for the MCAT is on. Revikesh, we're back with level 2 tomorrow, man. Now, looking at question F, guys, and this is quite important with question F, is this. You've got to remember that the 2 has a power of 1, and x also has a power of 1. I'll just do this question first, and then I'll answer your question, Jonty. So, because the 2 has a power of 1, we are going to rewrite this. We're going to have every power gets multiplied by the 3. So we're going to get 1 times 3. Then we've got x to the power of 1 times 3. And then we've got y to the power of 3 times 3. And so we're going to get 2 to the power of 8. Sorry, 2 to the power of 8. 2 to the power of 3. We're going to get x to the power of 3 and y to the power of 9. Now 2 to the power of 3 is 8. So we're going to rewrite this as 8 x cubed y 9. Yeah, I've been a bit behind putting the I was supposed to put a picture up for you guys, but yeah, just been a bit busy. John T, to answer your question, most schools do it. Some schools that are not choosing to do the MCAT, they have an internal kind of assessment which is not worth any credits. Yep. Cool. Right, guys, very quick question. Does anybody have any questions with question A to F? If you don't, we can move on to a bit more challenging questions, so let me know. Yeah, Science Ago has been asking me from March, man, when is the level 1 tutorials? But I guess I only put it up about half an hour ago. That was my bad. Yeah, see the level 2s. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay. I'm not sure, Eric. I never know what they get up to. All right, guys. We are going to go into a little bit more challenging questions. And so EFG. We're going to do question G here. gonna chuck you guys in the deep end, so it should be fun. Actually, not 27. Let's go with 81. No. Yeah, let's do this one. So guys, these two questions here, I've seen like these type of questions pop up, which ends up being like a merit question in the level 1 MCAT exam. They're not. Do you have to use bracket for these questions? Not necessarily. You don't have to use brackets for this. But what I will do is I'll say is like, I'll leave these two questions for you guys. Just have a crack at it. And I will go through this in a couple of minutes. I'm surprised you got your MCAT practice test so early, Adam, because I think most schools end up starting their prep for MCAT early term 3. Was it Beckham? Yeah, Beckham. I know which one you're talking about, but that one's actually got a quadratic equation in it, so that's why it's that's why it is a bit. That's an excellence. This one doesn't have a quadratic, therefore it will be a merit, I reckon. Could you please show that questions? I'm not understanding what you mean by British, but I'm gonna show you guys this question, how to do it very shortly, but I just want you guys to have a go at it just to see how far you can actually come through in it. I'll give you guys a hint. All right, these types of questions, particularly the one with like base 2 or base 3 and things like that, they generally tend to work out real nicely, like, because remember, you guys don't actually have a calculator for this, and because you don't have calculators, you need to remember that all these numbers will have the same basis. So what I mean by the same basis is, I'll do the question G for you guys just so you get an idea. So if you think about it like this, all right? So 3 to the power of 1 is 3. 3 squared is 9. 3 to the power of 3 is 27. And 3 to the power of 4 is 81. Now these kind of numbers, it's really important that you remember these numbers. Eric Rollis, yes, you can do that, but the problem is you don't know which questions are excellent, especially in the MCAT. It's pretty annoying that it's not like they just kind of say where it is. Krish, I think I need if you guys want any particular questions answered, guys, you can actually just drop a picture of the question to my email, and then I'll just do a worked answer and post it as a viewer question. All right, let's go back to this question here. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get rid of that 81. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the 81 by replacing it with 3 to the power of 4. We're also going to get rid of the 9 by replacing it with 3 squared. And so what I'm going to do, my first step is 3 to the power of x times 3 to the power of 4 equals 3 squared to the power of x. So remember that the 3 squared is actually equal to 9. Now in some exam papers, they actually, just doing this step will get you an achieved mark. In some papers. And I think, if I'm correct, in last year's paper, let me just have a quick check. 27/2019. Question C. writing it, write 36 as 6 squared. Yeah, so you do get an achieved just for this one line here. Once you do this part, the next thing is going back to the rules that we talked about earlier. All right, now, so if you look at the left-hand side, we've got both the bases. It's 3. So we can rewrite this as 3 to the power of x plus 4 equals 2. And then here you've got the two powers are getting multiplied. So we can write that as 3 to the power of 2 times x. So what we end up with is we've got 3x plus 4 equals 3 to the power of 2x. So at this point, we can kind of see that the two bases are the same. So on the left-hand side, you've got 3. On the right-hand side, you've got a 3, which means we can now say that whatever the power is, the two powers have to be equal to each other. Now, I reckon this is a merit question, Atenta. Boxing for life. Nah, man, probability is out of my domain. Guys, one more thing, just as a bit of a courtesy. I know you guys love to chat on the live chat, but my main aim here is to try and help our people. So if you could keep the conversations related to the questions, I'd really appreciate it, because I sometimes miss out what if somebody's trying to ask a question. It's pretty hard for me to kind of look at 3 screens, and no, I don't want to miss out on people's questions. So if you could keep the social chat to nil, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so anyway, going back to this. So what we've got here is the two powers that's actually shaded in pink, that's actually equal to each other. All right, so that means we can rewrite this as x plus 4 equals to 2x. And here comes the crunch part. Now you've got a linear equation, so you've got to rearrange it to figure out what x is. I'm just going to get rid of the x to the other side. Well, when I take it to the other side, it's going to become minus x. And what I have is 2x minus x. So therefore, x is equal to 4. Yeah, I'd actually say this question is a borderline kind of like merit. I don't know if I'll put this as an excellence. I'd definitely put it as a merit. All right, so these, what happened to the 3? Wagata. So basically, if you look at how I've highlighted the 2 3s as the yellows, because it's basically saying that the two bases are the same, which means the two powers have to equal each other. So imagine a question like this. If I say to you something like this, 3 to the power of x is equal to 3 to the power of 4, then you would say that x is equal to 4. Does that make sense? And so that's why when we go back here, once we make the two bases the same, then the powers just become equal to each other. So that's pretty much the concept behind it. And so what you really want to do, Wagata, is that you want to have just one number. Yeah, the bases cancel out if they're the same. That's exactly right, what you've written there. But it only works if it's in this format, where you've got a base to the power equals base to another power. Okay, what I'm going to do now is, if the number is the same, we don't change them. If the number is the same, we don't change them. I'm not sure, Atenta, what do you mean by that? Could we potentially get exponents in word questions in the MCAT? Yes, you can, Eric. It has come before exponent questions as word questions, but they are nice that they actually write the equation for you guys. It came basically from 2015 to 2018. I saw those word questions with exponents, but then they give you the equation, so it's not too bad. We'll actually do a question like that. I'll see if I can find a past paper question, and we can try it. But could I get you guys to try out H? Just how I did G, I want you guys to try out H. And I might actually put another question like h, very similar to that. This is L. Don't the x's have to be on the left hand side? No, it can be on also on the right hand side. For example, it's the same thing as saying 4 plus 3 equals 7. It's the same thing as saying 7 equals 4 plus 3. So it's an equal sign, so it doesn't theoretically matter where the x is. I mean, if you really want to be picky, you can rewrite this as x equals to 4 when you finish, but you would still be marked fine for L. Yeah, Chris, you're pretty much on the spot, but the only problem in this particular question is that those numbers are pretty big, and so you really don't want to be trying to multiply 81 times 81 and kind of waste your time with it. But yeah, theoretically that's what it is. And the questions I've given you guys are quite kind of like made up on the spot, so you're going to get some really ugly numbers to work with. By the way, if you guys got answers for H, feel free to just chuck it up on the chat. And it's always good to see, even if you get a wrong answer, guys, it's good to see where your mistake is, and you're going to learn from it. So it's absolutely fine. 64. Yeah, this one is a lot easier to kind of make sense. But yeah, I'll go through H right now. Sweet. So you guys got a few answers there. So my first step is, and I guess sometimes it's a really good idea to recognize a prime number. Like if you see a prime number, that's usually going to be the base that you're going to be working with. Storm Buddy, that really depends on a lot of things at the moment, because I do have a daytime job, and in my daytime job I don't actually teach level 1, 2, or 3. So at the moment I'm trying to do twice for level 2s and twice for level 1s every week. But anyway, going back to this question, so we recognize that 2 is the base. So we got 2 to the power of 1 is 2, 2 squared is 4. Let's just get rid of this thing. Then we've got 2 to the power of 3 is 8, 2 to the power of 4 is 16. And we're going to kind of stop there because we don't really need to go any further than that. So now what we've got is we're going to get rid of the 16, because that is 2 to the power of 4. We are going to get rid of the 8, because that is 2 to the power of 3. So when we rewrite this, we are going to get 2 to the power of 4 times 2 to the power of x equals 2 to the power of... Oh, did I make a mistake on this? No, I didn't. Doesn't look too bad. 2 to the power of 3x. Rahul, that's a long story. I'm actually not far from botany, man. I was at Ormiston Senior, now I'm at Junior. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add up the powers. So we've got 2 to the power of 4 plus x. And then we've got 2 to the power of 3 times x. So we're going to get, what do we got? We got 2 to the power of 4 plus x equals 2 to the power of 3x. And right now you guys can see that we have the bases are the same, which means we can actually say our powers are going to equal each other. And this is what you were talking about, Wagata. So once the powers are equal to each other, we can write 4 plus x equals to 3x. And again, you know, if you really want, you can also rewrite this as 3x equals to x plus 4, because remember, when it's equals, we can put both of them equal to each other. So then what we have is we need to get rid of the x from the right hand side, which means it's going to become minus x. That's equal to 4, and we've got 2x is equal to 4, and then x is equal to 4 divided by 2. So yes, you're going to get x is equal to 2. Alvin, what I'll do is I'll kind of bear with me, man. I'm going to put another question for these guys up on I, and then have a look through the working out. I'll put some numbers in there, line numbers, and let me know which particular line that you do not understand, and then we can go through it. Okay, so are we okay with that question, guys? Do you guys want another one like this? Yeah, I'm gonna put another one like this. Let me just have a look. Just looking at my notes just to see if I can. Just give me 1 second, guys. I just want to have a look. Solving equation, forming quadratic exponential, 62, 63. All right, let's try something slightly different. We're gonna try this one. All right, let's try this one here. Where's my pen go? Coming soon, Wagata. We're going to try and do, well, the excellence question tends to be a quadratic equation. And how many of you guys have done quadratic equation here? If you've done quadratic equation, then I can definitely give you guys an excellence question. That's not a problem. But if you haven't done it, I don't want to overload you guys. That's all. All right, guys. So this one, I've given you guys question I here. Just kind of mixing it up a little bit here. Okay, that's fine. Then we'll probably the next couple of questions we'll have a look at it. And look, and even if you don't understand these questions, guys, like, look, we're gonna keep doing this again and again, and you know, till you guys just get like really good at it, and then it's just like you know exactly what to do. So this is just like the first part of exponents. We'll try and do like a couple of at least 3 to 4 sessions on this before September. Okay, let me know how you guys are going with this, and if you need a hint, just type in hint and I'll type it in the little chat box there. Yeah, this one was kind of like just a little simple one to kind of get you started. Twice a week. I'm confused with the 2. Yep, that's fine, Eric. Now get rid of the 2 to the other side. That's the hint I'm going to give you guys, and I think it should start making sense. So I tend to Eric Rollers, get rid of the 2 to the other side because you have an even number on the right hand side. All right, I'll actually do this one for you guys, and then I kind of mixed it up a little bit just to kind of throw you guys off it. But all I'm really looking at is yes, Pritesh, this is the first one we're doing so far. So we've got 3 to the power of x minus 1 equals 54 divided by 2. Now the reason we're going to do this 54 divided by 2 is because of this. If you think about it, as Eric was talking about it, you know, you've got a 2 here, and then you've got a 3 here. Now they're 2 different bases. There's no way you can put them together. And the most common mistake that I see people doing is they do this. They look at these 2 things and they rewrite this as 6 to the power of x minus 1. Yeah, and that's just the common mistake people do because they don't understand how those bases actually work. When you have 2 bases like that, you can't just combine them straight away. But I will show you guys the situation where you can combine, and that's the next question. But in this case, we cannot write 54 as base 3, because if you think about it, we've got 3 to the power of 1 is 3. And I know this is kind of repetitive, but trust me, it just helps rewriting this again and again, because these numbers, once you're familiar with them, when you start doing those exponential questions, you know exactly what to do. So because 54 is somewhere there, we don't really know what it is, and so it's kind of like, well, without a calculator you can't really do anything with it. So what you got to do is you got to get rid of the 2. So we're going to rewrite this as 3 to the power of x minus 1 equals 54 divided by 2. And now what you should see is that 54 divided by 2 is 27, and we can straight away see that 27 is equal to 3 to the power of 3. So in this case we're going to rewrite this as 3 to the power of x minus 1 equals 3 to the power of 3. And according to our ideas behind it is that if our bases are the same, then the powers have to equal each other. So we can rewrite this as x minus 1 equals to 3, and then x is equal to 3 plus 1, which means x is equal to 4. Oh, thanks Ethan, appreciate it, man. So notice how the difference between the 2 questions with H and I. So when those bases are not when bases are the same in H, you can kind of rearrange them and put all together. But when it isn't, you might need to do some manipulation. So does that make sense, Eric and Atenta? Is that all right now? Okay, now I'm going to throw you guys off again. I'm going to give you this next question, and it is going to be, yeah, I am going to throw you off, but it's fine. I'll chuck it in there. Oh, Alvin, do you want another one like H or I? Which one do you want? Or do you want a completely different index question? That's what I know. Like I. All right. Throw you off for I. Let's do this one. X minus 3, 32, 2. Okay, sweet. Try this one here. Krish, I think feel free to chuck the answers in there, because when people, yeah, it's up to you, mate. Like, some people are quite nervous about putting their answers, but if it's a wrong answer, then sometimes I can pick out where your mistake is. So I try, when people put their answers up, and if it's a wrong answer, in my head I'm going, well, what have they done? Like, what's the misunderstanding you had to get to the wrong answer, so I can help you. You know, but if I can't see the answer, then I can't kind of help, if that makes sense. All right, kind of throwing you guys off a little bit more. So we're gonna do, what do we got? Let's try this one here. Now this question, there's actually a couple of ways of doing this. Yeah, and you can do it in like 2 different ways, and I will show you guys both ways when we kind of go through the answers. So I'm going to give you guys, I think you guys will be all right for 1 minute with this question. So have a go, guys. Nice. It's awesome when I always see 2 different answers straight up popping, because then you guys start to think about which one is correct. Why did you get 1? I'm curious to know how you got 1, Pritesh. I wish I was there to actually see the working. I'm going to help you out, but okay, now you're good. Sweet. So you guys look like you got the hang of this. I'm going to do it 2 different ways, just to show you guys. 13. Wagata. That's a way off number. Yeah, so I'm going to show you guys how to do it in 2 different ways. All right, the first method I'm going to show you guys is this one here. You might have done this: 2 to the power of x plus 3 equals 16 times 2. All right, that's the first way you could have done it, which means you could have got 2x plus 3 equals 32, and then 2 to the power of x plus 3. Now 32 is the same thing as saying 2 to the power of 5. All right, so just remember, again, if you've forgotten, 2 to the power of 1 is 2, 2 squared is 4, 2 cubed is 8, 2 4 is 16, and 2 to the power of 5 is 32. So because of this, now we can say that the two powers are equal to each other. And so what we're going to get is x plus 3 equals to 5. And so we can say x is equal to 5, take away 3, which means x is equal to 2. Do you always have to put in the powers? Are you talking about this pink box here? Attenter. What I've written in the pink box, no, that's just for reference, Attenter. You don't need to write that down in your exam at all. I mean, like, I'll tell you what, like, you do this so many times and you just start to recognize these numbers, and then you don't have to actually put it like that at all. But the reason I do this in this is that because if people are coming fresh with exponents, it's just good practice to do that and then kind of see the links. So you don't need to write the stuff that's in the pink box, or even in question I, you know how I had all the 3 to the power of things, 3 to the power of different numbers. You don't need to write that in the exam. Do I have to write it as 2 to the power of 5? Yes, that part you do. So when you have 32, you do, no, the thing is you can do it in different ways again. But ideally you want to write it as 2 to the power of 5, then you can put the two bases together. Otherwise, they might actually count it as, what do you call it, guessing and checking. So it's good to write it from that. I'll put the steps. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I would say that the important steps for you guys would be the transition from step 2 to step 3. Yeah, the exponent ones are pretty common, but they've also changed them into, excellence questions. So they're mainly merit or excellence questions. Now going back to J, I wanted to show you guys the other way of doing this. The second way of doing this is you can rewrite this as 2 to the power of x plus 3 divided by 2 to the power of 1 equals, now 16 can be said as 2 to the power of 4. So in this case, because you've got two bases that are the same, you can actually subtract the powers. So you can rewrite this as 2 to the power of x plus 3 minus 1 equals 2 to the power of 4. So what you're going to end up with is 2 to the power of x plus 2 equals 2 to the power of 4. And then here you can see that the two powers are the same as the two bases are the same. So you're going to get x plus 2 equals to 4, and x is equal to 4 take away 2, which means x is equal to 2. So it's just another way of doing it. Yes, you can, Holly. It always gets saved in a playlist, and it's also on my website later on. So any questions with J? And with J, you can actually do with method 1 or method 2. It doesn't matter. Either way it works out. Wagata, it should be in the stream's description. So if you look at this stream and its description, you should be able to see it. I'm sure I put it in there. And if you go into level 1 MCAT, you should find tutorials and everything like that. All right, I was showing at the start of this stream, basically where is it? Yeah, so if you go into level 1 and MCAT, you should find all the skills videos, tutorials, prep playlist, exams, and everything like that. All right, guys, let's go to the next question. What else can I throw at you people? This one. wanted to throw this one because this is going to mess you guys up a little bit, but it's always fun because once you kind of understand how the powers work, then we can actually kind of move on. I'll have a look at it, Alvin, but because today I just want to focus on exponent questions, and I'll see if I can try and find some old exponent questions on NCEA, but they've kind of moved away from it a little bit, so that's why I'm focusing mainly on the kind of like the achieved and merit skills. But before I go there, I want to chuck up this question here for you guys and see if you can answer it. Now, I know you can guess and check this answer, and which you probably can, but I really want to know how you get the answer of 2. Yeah, shot, Nate. That's pretty much what I was looking for. Nice. All those people that got 1 as an answer, I know exactly where you guys went wrong, and I'll actually explain it to you guys. All right, so if you put down 1, it's actually the incorrect answer, but I know where your mistake is. Yeah, Krish, you can combine them, and I'll show you why we can combine them. You know, I can see that you guys are all getting the idea behind it, but I'm going to go through the answer and I'll explain how those people got 1 as their answer. So the first thing is this: when you look at this 3 and 2, the problem in this case is that our 2 bases are completely different. All right, they're completely different, but the only thing that's common about them is their power. All right, it's x and x. So I want you guys to go back to that first question that we did today, which was C. Where was it? First question up there, not C, go to F. So, and I'm going to kind of show you guys here so you can see the connections between these two. All right, so what we have right now is we've got, I'm going to go back to the question, but I just wanted to show you guys the connection for this. So we've actually got 3x and 2x, right? But remember that this could be written as 3 to the power of 1 times x and 2 to the power of 1 times x, which means I could see that x is a common power. So I could rewrite this as 3 to the power of 1 times 2 to the power of 1, and that's all raised to the power of x, which means going back one step, 3 to the power of 1 times 2 to the power of 1, which is the same thing as saying 3 times 2 is 6 to the power of x. So are we okay how I converted 3x times 2x as, so if you have 3x times 2x, we can rewrite this as 6 to the power of x. Is that okay? Because if you understand that part, then the rest of the question is just like a walk in the park. Cool, I got 1 yes, which means I'm going to move on. So coming back to k, that means when we have 3x times 2x, we can rewrite this as 6 to the power of x. 36 is 6 squared. Therefore, x is equal to 2. Now, those of you guys that actually put down the 1, I think I know what happened, how you guys got the answer as 1. Because in your head, you knew that 3x times 2x is equal to 6 squared. You probably did that. And then you saw the powers, and the powers had to add up to each other. So I think that's what you did, the 1 plus 1 and therefore you came up with x equals to 1. That's what I think you did, which I could be completely wrong. So for those people that actually got the answer as x equals to 1, that's the slight mistake that you'd actually made there. Isn't it 6x squared? No, it's not 6x squared, because like I said before, that the powers, it's like powers of powers, how it works. So basically I can rewrite this as 3 times 2 to the power of x is the same thing as saying 3x 2x. So the x's are not getting multiplied at all. Aspect? Okay, I see where your mistake is. Okay, aspect, what you're talking about is 3x times 2x. Now if it was 3x times 2x, yes, it would be 6x squared. But in this case, we have 3 to the power of x times 2 to the power of x. So it's actually the power. Oh, what's up, Jamie? How are you going, man? Yeah, so because it's powers, this would be 6 to the power of x. Aspect, is that okay now, or? Yeah, it's good, Jamie. Just teaching junior college now, so this is the most kind of advanced maths I've done so far. So basically you don't multiply powers. L, you only multiply powers if it's brackets of like powers of powers. Oh yeah, Jamie, there's a few. I think there's I haven't done any revision material apart from the tutorials. Okay, aspect, I know where your misconception is coming from. You only add them if the bases are the same. So if you have 3x times 3 squared, then you would go 3 to the power of x plus 2. That's because, if you notice, we add the powers is because the two bases are the same. Now in the case above, the two powers are the same, but the bases are actually different. So that's how you get that 6 from. The 6 is actually from 3 and 2 multiplied together, while the power just stays the same as is. All right, now I know some of you guys asked for a word question from, what do we call it? I don't know, when was the last time I saw it? I think it might have been 2017 that I saw this. But I'll have a quick look to see if I can. No, that's not it. Could be wrong. Could be 2016 actually. Yep. Yeah, the last time I saw a word question that came in MCAT, which exponential word question, must be 2016, but let me just check. Nope. Yeah, no, it's not there. Question 2, where the hell did it go? Question 1. All right, guys, so we're gonna do one last question before I go. Thank you. What keyboard do you have? Keyboard. Yeah, it's pretty much a cheap ass keyboard, man. I got it donated by one of my mates. All right, so what I'll do is I'll pop up this question for you guys, and then we can, let's see, where's the space? L. Okay, question L. So what should I do? I'll rechange this one slightly for you guys. Okay, we'll try this question here, guys. Next level 1, I'm gonna do level 2 tomorrow, so probably Wednesday night we'll do level 1 again. So I'll try and do 2 nights a week, guys, for level 1, and then 2 nights a week for level 2. Let me just figure out what grade this is worth. 2015, no 16. 2016, question 1D. The infamous 2016 year. 1D. Yeah, so this particular question is very similar to the one from 2016. I think it was back then it was given an excellence question, but yeah, I'll let you guys have a go at this. Do I have to learn the power of by heart? Attentor, there's only a few numbers you need to remember. It's not like all of them. Like you don't need to remember like 3 to the power of 7 or stuff like that. Like I would say it's good to know for like 2 to the power of up to like I mean, if you forget it, Attentor, just triple the numbers and double the numbers if it's 2 to the power of 2. Times it by 3 for each one of them. For if it's base 3, base 5 is useful. Base 10 is also quite useful as well. Nice, so we got a few answers coming up here with x equals to 7. But I give you guys a bit more time. So guys, after this, I want to do one more question, which is going to be equation question, like inequalities, which we'll do. Revish, I'm going to be doing discriminants tomorrow, buddy, for level 2. But we'll get to quadratic worded questions. We have a bit more time. All right, let's go through this question, and then I'm going to chuck up an equation for you guys. So, as always, I know I tend to ask before, but I always get into the habit of writing this. So just visually, it makes it easier for me. So 2 cubed is 8. I'm going to stop there. That's all I care about. So 8 I can replace with 2 to the power of 3. 4 I can replace with 2 squared. So I've got 2 to the power of 3 times 2 to the power of x equals 2 to the power of 2 to the power of x minus 2. So remember that 2 squared is equal to 4. Ooh, 3 over 5. X equals to 6. Hey, look, Sciencego is here. Sciencego, you've been asking since March when the level 1 streams were on. And I finally do it, and you're only... a little bit late. That's all right. Cool. So at this point, what we got is 2 to the power of 3 plus x. Now this 2, we've got to multiply it. We've got to kind of rewrite it like that. So we're going to rewrite this as 2 to the power of 2 times x minus 2. And so we're going to get 2 to the power of 3 plus x equals 2 to the power of, now we've got 2 times x, which ends up being 2x, and then we've got 2 times negative 2, which equals to minus 4. So at this point we can say that the 2 powers are equal to each other because we've got base of 2 and 2. What type of question is this called? I think this is just exponential question. So yeah, so at this point what we can do is we can actually say the 2 powers are equal to each other. So we got 3 plus x equals 2x minus 4, we're going to rearrange. So we're going to get rid of the, you know what, I'm going to do this, which I can just rewrite this as 2x minus 4 equals x plus 3, and then I've got 2x, bringing the x to this side will make it minus x equals 3, and when I bring the minus 4 to the right hand side it will become plus 4. So I've got 2x minus x, which is x, 3 plus 4 is 7. Alright guys, I know some of you guys are just kind of joining in a little bit late, but could you just keep the chat a bit quiet apart from the questions that need to be answered, please, because it makes it really hard for me to answer questions if people are just socializing here. So where are we up to? Any questions on that? Question L there, guys. Oh, nice, Revish. Just look through that mathematics series, man. I think you'll be all right for complex. You should be good for it. TEG, yes, Rahul, but those tutorials will be after the MCAT, man. So I don't touch the level 1 externals till after MCAT's finished. I'm unsure on the... okay, you know what? Just gonna put a few people on. Give me 1 second, folks. Sorry, just kind of getting rid of a few people because this is just ridiculous. I'm not going to tolerate this, guys, because we're going to muck around. Just leave. Sorry, it's just, I just can't be stuffed. Okay, going back to this. Does anybody have any questions with question L? All right. Sorry guys, I thought I'll have another, oh sorry, third step, L. Okay, sorry man, I'm just going to put some numbers down here. So I'm just trying to answer people's questions. So L, can you tell me which line do you have a problem with? Third step, I know you're talking about third step. Is that line 3 or line 2? Yes, Lone Universe, this is for MCAT level 1. Where was it? Hey, L, can you tell me which line? Line 2. Okay. So, line 2, are you looking at the left-hand side or the right-hand side? Right hand side. Okay, so remember that when we have powers of powers, so in other words, if I have something like 3 to the power of x to the power of 2, we rewrite this as 3 to the power of x times 2. So that's all I've done here. So let me just get rid of those 2 arrows. All I've done here is that I've taken the power, which is, so if I'm just going to show it to you like this. So that 2, that power in this box is going to get multiplied with the power in the green box, and that's literally what's happened in line 2. So I've actually gone 2 times, oh, damn it, where did that go? So basically went 2 times x minus 2. Alright, so when I do 2 times x minus 2, I'm going to get 2x minus 4. From line 2 to line 3. Aspect, that's a super horrible question, man. All right, guys, I actually thought I'd have time to do another question, but we might have to. Yes, this was an excellence question back in 2016, a variety of it. I've just changed the numbers up a little bit, but it was an excellence question. Krish, would you mind stop spamming with that, please? Otherwise, I'm not going to be answering any more of your questions. It's as simple as that. The reason you're not allowed calculators Wagata is because MCAT was set up as a, I think it's set up like a screening paper. So in other words, it was like they want you to understand the basic skills, because the graphics calculator that you guys end up buying for like some quite a bit of things, like $130 or whatever, they end up they can actually solve all of these things, but because they don't want you to do that, they want you to learn the skills. That's why they've kind of kept it like this. Tim, you don't worry about donations, man. If you really want to do something, then check out. I think they're accepting nominations for local hero. Feel free to drop my name in if you want to. Also, anyone have Discord here? Okay, give me 1 second. I'm losing my chat. Anyone here Discord? No, that's all right. X equals to 1. Aspect, I think your questions have answered. No, Eric, it's just different, man. That's all. Like, it's just a little bit of weird thing, but that's all right. Yeah, that's the one, Beckham. Why not, eh? Why not? No worries, Pritesh. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. Step 5. What was the purpose of step 5? Step 5, the reason I did that was because some people like the X to be on the right-hand side, Tim. So that's why I decided to kind of switch through. I mean, you can carry on from step 4 and just keep carrying on, so it's absolutely fine. Nah, Sean, he's just he's gonna help me out with a nomination for something. That's all. Wait, now, when is MCAT, please? Nippy, it depends on when your school decides it is. I think it'll be in September, term 3, end of term 3, September. L, you can screenshot questions that you would like, but one of the things is, like, if you screenshot any questions and send it to my email, I usually do like viewer questions. But if you have a look at the playlist that I put up, that should have like a lot of questions that I've done from the past papers. So for example, I'll show you guys the link. So if you go to my website and go to Algebra MCAT and then click on that MCAT prep playlist, I haven't added any videos for this year yet, but basically that has, starting from like somewhere mid, where is it? Yeah, starting from like that, after like 15 videos, there's like heaps of user questions there that's worth having a look at. And I've just moved one by mistake. Oops. Let's move that back. Yeah, so heaps of questions there, so have a look through when you guys can. All right. He's on the end. Yeah. So 17th. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Eric, what we'll do is we will actually do a bit more questions on other ones as well. All right, guys, that's basically it for me for today. I will catch you guys next time. So this will be coming back, what do we call it? We're going to be coming back on Wednesday, 7:30 to do a bit more work. All right. If you have any questions, further comments, socials is the easiest way to follow me in terms of when the next tutorials are on. So I think the socials are listed in my description. Let me just double check. I'm sure I put it at the bottom there somewhere. Yes, I have. Keep an eye out on Instagram because I usually put up a notification of when the tutorials are. Sometimes I do it with like an hour left because I just haven't had the time to actually sort it out. But cool. That's it from me. Thank you guys for joining, and I'll catch you guys next time on Wednesday. See you later. Oh yeah, one more thing. I'll hang around in the chat after the stream ends just to answer any kind of other questions, but see you guys next time.